turnout so far today. And
Hmm.
everybody that's on here, I keep saying hello all. Have your chat open so that we can,
I think
we,
you're sending it to, you got to see who you're sending it to. You're sending it the chat. Where is it? So you're sending
oh,
it to the host and panelists. So you have
oh,
to change to change it to everyone.
there we go. Oh, this says direct message when I change it to agent locator.
Well,
Oh,
you change it to everyone, yeah, and then everyone sees it. Trust me, I do
okay.
it all the time where I'm trying to send like links to everyone about something. I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't send it to everyone.
Okay. So it
Yeah.
says hosts and panelists.
Yeah, you want to do it to everyone.
Oh, okay. So this is what our
Yeah.
problem is. I only
Yeah.
have agent locator,
Oh,
host,
really?
host and panelist. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, wait. Yeah, that's all I have. Well, that's kind of weird. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. Well,
I
I
don't
wonder
know
if I
why.
do that. Maybe
I
now
do
you could
see
do it to
Dr.
everyone. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I can't spell everyone. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. I tried to say hi. I guess it doesn't like me today. Okay, so all I need is for everybody that's in attendance. Wow, we've got a great turnout. Ooh, I'm starting to get a wee bit nervous.
Mhm.
Um, I'm so honored to be part of our neighborhood realty, and we're celebrating our 5th anniversary. So we're doing a luxury boat cruise on July the 27th from 12 o'clock to 5 p.m. We've got a DJ, we've got swag, and we've got some swag compliments of Agent Locator as well. We've got some pretty cool stuff that they've donated to our swag bag. So on that, what else do we have? DJ, a live band, there's going to be dancing. It boards at the Toronto Harbor. I've got all the details. So 5 of you, if not maybe a couple more, will actually be winning free tickets for it. All you need is just your drive there and cash for the bar. It's going to be a phenomenal afternoon. So I'm excited for you guys. And I'm excited to meet some people. What a
Absolutely.
great way to meet people. And perfect. Yeah.
And
So
try
that's
not to talk too much about work.
listen, realtors, that's all we do is we talk.
I know. It's so hard not to, right? It's so hard not to.
Crazy. You can't help but always talk about some crazy deals. And believe me, and did I have a crazy, crazy, crazy non-closing on Friday? And if it wasn't, a family member who is like a sibling to me, buyer just didn't have the money. Buyer bought it a couple months ago. Mortgage did not come through, and you got a family homeless. So this is what we're dealing with in these crazy times that we're in right now, with people purchasing during a bidding war hype. And is it going to close? And it was a Friday like no other. And that's the interesting thing about realtors, and you guys can all attest to this. It affects you, and the public has no idea what we go through on a daily basis beyond just selling a property and the people's perception that we're making, a gazillion dollars, and then we just go on. It is sickening. So long and short of it is now my family could not close their purchase. Now I've got another family living in the home who couldn't close their purchase. So the domino effect was real.
Yeah.
I literally started reaching out to every mortgage broker I have ever talked to, done deals. You guys know they're a dime a dozen how many mortgage brokers we have reach us and want to contact us. And at the end of the day, I spent my entire day just trying to get some sort of private funding back up via a bridge to be able to get my family into their new home, and at least bottom line have that close by 7:30, quarter to 8. A lot of mortgage brokers give them credit. A lot of them said going to be really tough, but let me make calls. And I think you guys can understand how important to us as a realtor when we're trying to help people, how important it is when somebody says, let me make calls. A number of them were like, oh my gosh, can't be done. We're gonna need this, all the excuses in the world why they didn't want to make the calls. And then I had 5 say, let me make calls. And I got a call at 7:45 on Friday night by one private lender directly who had been contacted through and said, I can have money within 24 hours. Clearly we can't close on the weekend, but I understand your client's situation and I'm going to work with them, even if it's just to get them through for a couple of days until now the buyer can come up with funding and close.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
how many others?
You know, you made it happen, right? It's not always easy peasy. I actually had a client today that said he had the fastest deal he had ever encountered. He was referred the client on Saturday, had the showing referred to them on Friday, met with them on Saturday and saw the property. Sunday, they put an offer in on it. Monday, the subjects were removed, and Wednesday, the property closed.
Well, I'm surprised a lawyer would close it that quickly.
Yeah.
Well,
it was just like, it was just like boom, 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 done. Like, he was like, this is the
really
fastest this has ever happened.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm like, well, good for you, man. Like, you know, if they were all like that, you know, amazing that would be, right? For everyone.
Right. Well, interestingly enough, I mean, I think that the ones that we've got such a great group here. I'm very excited. I appreciate you guys so much. But I think that we can all attest that we always talk about during these webinars is how hard we work and how much we put into it. And this, what I just gave you is an example of what my Friday was like. And I mean, it carries right over to the weekend because, you know, now they got to try to find a place to live temporarily. And it was just such a mess.
Yeah. Well, it's stressful. Like, it's just that thought of uncertainty and not knowing what's going to happen. We have no house right now, right?
And it also shows us as realtors how, you know, we do have to leverage it out. And as I'm sitting here seeing this property not closing, seeing, you know, a family with 2 dogs, a girl in a wheelchair, one of their children now displaced. Now I'm kind of going, okay, you know what? I give business to a lot of people, and this is where my mindset is. A lot of these mortgage brokers I've referred clients to. So now it's time for you guys to really step up to the plate. And I think as realtors, as we're trying to make our business bigger and evolve, we absolutely have to have people that we can refer back to. And I just opened up my phone and went, by gosh, everybody I have talked to as a mortgage broker, everybody I've sent a deal to is now going to start working and trying to help my clients. I probably have never been so exhausted in my life, in all honesty. That's how much stress it was. But it just goes to show you how some people were willing to start making the calls, and some people, by the end of the day, I had a legit lender privately willing to work under extreme conditions, right? So don't think that it can't be done. It's easy to sit back and go, shoot, I don't think there's anything I can do. And it's also easy to go, you know what? I'm not going to take no for an answer, and I'm going to fight for my clients. And that means a lot of people heard from Tara on Friday. Yeah. So anybody had that happen to them? And what did you guys do? I would throw that out there because I think this is a part where we all learn from each other. If any of you have phenomenal privates like this one that just heard through the grapevine that I needed assistance ASAP, I'll tell you something, there'll be somebody that I refer to over and over and over again. Right? Yep.
Absolutely. Got you out of, you and your clients out of a sticky situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone's a little bit quiet today. They're all keeping in mind, we do have some new people in here, so they're probably experiencing this for the first time, not certain as to what to expect from the sessions. It's always different.
We always say we want to hear from you. So we're here to help you grow your business through Agent Locator by converting leads and learning how to be develop a program for yourselves that can make you super successful in taking your leads and your conversion to another level. When I gave the example of what happened to me on Friday, when it comes to, you know, here's normal real estate, it didn't close. And we've got families now homeless, legit homeless, because it didn't close. When this happened on Friday, the truck was packed up, the movers, the day before. All of their stuff was gone. It was sitting in a truck 2.5 hours away. So it wasn't as much as let's load back up the house. We've got beds to sleep in. They had nothing, right? And when we're trying to convert people, the wonderful thing that we can offer when we do our due diligence is saying that we work with a lot of really good preferred partners, and that's how I call them. Right? Do you need a mortgage broker? I have a list of preferred partners. Do you need advice for this? I've got preferred partners. And developing your business that way also shows our agent locator leads that we legit have a real estate business, right? We can get them the help that they need wherever they're at, right?
Oh, absolutely. All different stages. Now I know, you know, in our last sessions, we were talking about mindset, but also the follow-ups and building the campaigns. You were gracious enough to send me a copy of those so I can kind of get an idea as to what's included in campaigns, because I know building out campaigns is something that a lot of everyone in here is interested in and or utilizing at the very least. A lot of people, though, when it comes to having to do something, kind of take that step back because it's an uncertainty, or they're just not sure, or you're just too busy to kind of sit down and really think about it. The thought of it, though, is like when you're building on a campaign, Tara, the initial process of it, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's where like the developing of it, yes, it takes some thought as to what you want to say in those emails or text messages that you're sending. But let's say it took you an hour or 2 hours to build it out. That campaign is now like this. It's easy peasy. Every person that comes in, you can easily put that campaign on them. So that 2 hours worth of work is applicable to every single lead in your dashboard, rather than sending everyone manual things or reaching out to them manually every single time you're wanting to communicate. So it is super beneficial with that. And the timing is very different. So one thing I noticed with your buyer campaign versus a seller campaign is the frequency and number of points of communication, touches. The buyer side is definitely longer and has more touches, whereas the seller side has, I think it was like 4 or 5 actions. And so a few in the beginning, then spread out to like 2 weeks, and then a month apart, and then a month apart, and then I think it was done. So it's not like you're hounding somebody to list their home, but it's like informational or offering, you know, if you have any questions, things like that. It wasn't trying to push them into something or coming across as salesy, right? So,
and that's totally what I'm completely against. With the seller drip, though, the seller drip is something that I've only just created within the last, I think we're probably at about 3 months old now. So when I start these drip campaigns, I try to just test out basically, and then add on as I might feel it needs it. With the seller campaign, what we're also doing is we're setting them up to get sold listings based on their area, not just their street. So not only are they getting those touches, but they're also getting sent sold listings that resemble what they've told me their house is. Yeah,
exactly. And the sold. And then I really like the way, so all of you guys have access to the Home Locator app, which is really beneficial as well if your leads sign up on that, because everyone that signs up on that, you're getting their address. Okay, so first and foremost, you get everyone's address, and you start sending them at the very least active listings in their neighborhood of the same type of home. And if you guys are part of a board where we have access to your sold listings, they're also set up to receive sold listings, and it's within a 300-meter radius of their home as well. So it's another way and another tool that you're able to nurture these leads, giving them something of value, and you're still able to see their activities and all of that no differently. than you would if the lead had registered on your website and is just looking at emails. It just gives them also the ability to drive around, with your app, and they can pull up sold listings in a neighborhood. So if they're like driving around, they're like, oh, let's see this house. Oh, it's listed for this. Let's see what the other houses have sold for, right? So it gives them a lot more power and control and information when it comes to searching for properties, whether they're sitting on their couch or driving around neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And you get their addresses. So that's it's like a win-win for everyone.
The whole thing about having the home locator app is that even when they do want to see what a listing is, at least it's your info.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? That's why I incorporated that as part of the drip. I even had at one time a reminder email as well on my drip. So I did a drip for the home locator app. And then at the end of my buyer drip, I had another one that was a reminder. I've only recently just taken it out just to see whether or not it works or not. I'm still kind of at a little bit of, I don't see an incredible number signing up for the app. But I think that's just because people are just starting to get used to it. They're just starting to hear about it, and not everybody's gonna do it right.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And I enjoy how when you're introducing or trying to encourage them to use the app, you're not just giving them the link. You're like, hey, I sent you an email with some information on it a little while back. If you can't find it, let me know. I'll be happy to dig it up for you.
Yeah.
Right. So it's also encouraging them to be responsive to you, not just clicking on a link because you sent it to them.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your input. It's taken a while, but the drip works. The bottom line is this. If I could say this a million times, and I will, I probably have, we can't convert them unless they're talking to us. And what my drip has done for me, and this is the reason why I'm so successful at Agent Locator Leads, is people answer the drip. Yeah. And we talked 2 weeks ago as well about response time. Everything is all like this. It's all together. It's one thing to have people respond to your drip and your emails, but it's a whole opposite thing if you're replying back 2 days later because you're not looking, you're not watching to see if they've responded, or you're out for dinner for 12 hours and you don't want to do real estate, which we all get. But it takes nothing to take your phone and say, listen, I appreciate you reaching out to me. I'm with a client right now. As soon as I can, I'll get that info. And having a good drip campaign is what encourages people to reply. And it's the replies that get these people in the car. It's the process. Yeah. Yeah,
it is definitely the process. And being, as you said, it's just being responsive to a lot of these individuals. And you guys, when you are building out your campaigns, if being responsive on weekends, because you want to try to limit the amount you work on weekends, you can run your campaigns so they only run on business days. So you're not sending out emails that are trying to generate a response from somebody on days that you don't want to be responsive.
Yeah.
Right. So you can control that for yourself. And of course, those silent hours help as well. Those are typically good for texts as well. But that's the way that you can control some of that. Obviously, if somebody's inquiring about a listing and they want to go look at it, that's great news. But if it's just general, if you don't want to do that little chit chat back and forth, whatever it might be, then just hold off on the communications, just run them on business days.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. I do. What I really want to encourage, because a lot of people want, a copy of the drip, and I do have the coaching company, and yes, there is a way that you can get it, but I do also know that everybody can create their own drip if they just put themselves in the seated position as a lead. And that's when this drip started working for me way back 18 years ago. It was because what I put on paper was exactly how I would respond if I were to get it back. And it just takes starting with one email. Create one email at a time, figure out what those most important things are that you want to say without being way too long. whatever email you send out, if you put too much info, I don't care if you've known the person 30 years, you'll lose them at paragraph 2. So my emails are always fairly small, and I'm always incorporating in my drip what's going on in the market. So the latest revision that we've just done incorporates now that there's been a shift and that we're now into a buyer's market, and I'm addressing that. So you can take away things and add things. I think having in a current drip right now is trying to kind of acknowledge that buyers right now may have to requalify again because of a third interest rate hike. How does that work for you? Here's a couple of tips I could give you. You know, you want to kind of always be updating that drip and doing something in there that's somebody's now going to go, shoot, that's actually a really good idea. And I'm going to now talk to my mortgage broker or whatever it may be. Always stay very, very, very current.
Oh, absolutely. And like short and sweet. So I actually went to go and look at your thing. And then Armando sent me an email saying that the chat was actually disabled in here. So no one's been able to chat. So now everyone can chat. So thanks for letting me know. It wasn't you. It wasn't you.
I want to hear from y'all. You can sing if you want. It's going to be a heck of a party. Listen, let me tell you something. Tara, the winners today are going to have fun.
Yeah.
Put Tara on the boat. It's going to be a good time, people.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, like, you know, so for those of you now that you can, you know, communicate with us, have you started even thinking about creating your own drip? We talked about this, Crystal, probably 2 sessions ago, where we really were encouraging people to just start writing down and coming up with something. So the drip that I have, it now goes up to about 85 days, I think. And in it is not just emails, but there's also some very, very gentle SMSs that go out throughout the day, maybe 3. Yeah. And with that, what I do is I then disable the agent locator ones that are automatic, because I don't want like them getting a little bit of everything, because I've already got it covered. So I try to go, okay, let me get a couple of emails out to them, along with getting listings every single day. The 2 go very, very, very important together. But in between each one, I'll do a little text that says, hey guys, you know, how's the search coming along? Have you seen anything that you want to take a look at? It's super simple. Yeah. And people reply to my text all the time as well.
And yeah, short and sweet, like nothing overwhelming. You don't want to write your text messages as if you're sending it as like an email. I've seen those before. It's like this that's not how we typically would SMS with someone, right? So it's kind of like you want to keep it natural and realistic. And there was something I was going to say. No, I can't. Like even email. So again, you have campaigns, but again, kind of talking about the current market or current scenarios, like what you encountered over the weekend with your clients, is use that information as an experiences, as an idea or a thought to put together an email that you can blast out to everyone, something that's going to educate them, because now you have just that much more knowledge from having to experience it. And blast and use that, you know, that temporary mishap or achievement from the mishap as a learning opportunity to also educate your leads in what's happening in the market, and perhaps the do's and the don'ts and things like that. So using those different scenarios that you may come across from time to time as a way to communicate with your leads as well.
Right.
And we do actually have now, so it's really great. Well, of course, you could always do it if you're sending a mass email. You could always see who's clicked on your emails, things like that. Now you have the ability. So one of the new filters that came out is you guys have the last activity with respect to the email filter. So you can now filter your leads who opened an email today or clicked on an email today, or marked it as spam today. You can pull all those people up. So if you're sending out emails and blasts, to small groups, you can really track and monitor or follow up with people based on their viewing and clicking activity within the emails that you're sending. So it's, which is really great, because you could always do it for the mass actions. You couldn't do it on an individual email basis. Yeah. Right. So if you wanted to monitor, hey, I'm just sending this lady an email, I'm not sure what she's going to do with it, you can easily pull that out, that just the filter who opened that email.
I think, I'll never forget, I did this email once because even though I've always had my drip, I'm always thinking about something that I can touch my leads with, because it goes beyond also, and don't get me wrong, at the end of the 85 days, what else do you do? I always get that question. Okay, well, the drip's done. What do I do now? But always be thinking about something that you can send them. So, interest rate hike. One time I did, this might've been about 13 years ago, I did a home inspection and there was some crazy stuff that came up in the home inspection, which we all know happens, right? We've seen it. But what happened during this home inspection was really unique. And I remember leaving the property and going, thank goodness we did this home inspection. Thank goodness. It found something very, very, very hidden. And then what I did was I created an email and I entitled the email, I think it was The Benefits of a Home Inspection and Why You Should Do One. And in the email, I just said, this just happened to me and I had to share it with all of you. Many wonder, is it worth it? Is it not? And here's what happened. And I'm telling you, my leads blew up in a response to me. I probably had 100 replies, easy. Wow. Just by me. I didn't go long. Again, please don't go long. It was super sweet, super short. But they were like, thank you for sending this. A couple of them were like, my husband says they're not worth the money and I'm going to show him your email. But it gets people talking. And these are the things that I think are imperative to go, get your perspective on something and just introduce it to the leads. Yeah. I'm consistently sending out to all of my leads what I call new listing alerts. We did it a couple of days ago and I just did it again today. I embed my YouTube video virtual tour in it. You kind of give them a bit of a teaser. Listen, here's a small rundown on it. Take a look at the tour, and they always reply back. I actually, when I sent out a pre-listing, I did it as I'm giving you guys a sneak peek. It's exclusive right now. It goes live. Let me know if you want more info. And my son and I actually started creating a list. That's how many people replied back going, we want the listing. We want to get in. I mean, what a better way to let your leads, again, see that you're working in their best interest. You're telling them about the home before it's even live. I hadn't even done the tour. So it was literally just a worded email. There was no virtual tour. There were no pictures, but it blew up. Yeah. So and those are really good points, I think, to think about.
Well, exactly. And like the off-market listings, when you're having a conversation with someone, if somebody's further out in the process, you can always ask them. No, we do have properties, that we list from time to time that don't actually go on the MLS. So you're never going to get them to your inbox. Would you be interested whenever we have those off-market listings, or would you be interested in receiving them? And you just tag all those people. So whenever you have any properties that are coming soon that you're still, that are still sellable prior to hitting the MLS, or for those exclusives that are never going to hit the MLS, you then have that specific audience that is waiting for that information.
Right. Exactly. Is the chat still working?
It should be, yeah.
Okay, maybe if you guys can let us know. But those are some good tips too. Oh, I see a message now. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
It's working.
Has anybody tried anything else as that kind of, I'm just going to send this out to them and see. We did, we had an open house on the weekend. We did full open house invitations to the one property that we have listed. Lots of response to that. I've had many of my leads come through the open house. One lady in particular did. She lives down the street. She's on Agent Locator because I had listed a home on her street. And sure enough, she got the open house invitation and she came through. These are the little things that you can do above and beyond even just a drip. Yeah. Has anybody tried anything? You know, because I think that we can all share great ideas together during this session.
And it's a time where, with the market shifting so much, you're all going to be in the same boat of business is going to probably slow down a little bit, maybe, I don't know, but it's going to be harder to get those deals done for some of them, right? So,
it's now's the time to be working with buyers, right? And this is what, it's not my first rodeo. I've seen this before. To have a listing right now is tough. It's tough. And we're used, those of us that we're used to this. But if you can build up, that's the beautiful thing about Agent Locators. It gives you the ability, when you start communicating and you get into your rhythm with them, it gives you the ability to build up that buyer base. Right? Oh, yeah. That's what we need right now. We have to have people in our car.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what are you finding on the other end with people that Agent Locator clients? Are you noticing other people a shift when it comes to listings?
Well, a lot of our clients don't do the listings anyway, because you get more bang for your buck. Majority of Agent Locator, they're doing the buyer side of it. Yep. Just the sellers are often a buyer already in someone's system by the time they go online looking. Not always, but a lot of the time. But yeah, they're all in that same. I think it's shifting all over, right? So we're watching the price reductions, because things aren't moving, things are changing, and of course with the sellers, it's hard to to tell them, well, now we got to reduce it by another 30,000. Now we got to reduce it by another 30,000, right? And then it's going to just come off the market unless they have to sell, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how everything kind of pans out in the long run, right? Are we going to have really a fall market this year? Is everything going to kind of go really quiet for a bit? So far, we're it's just shifting, but it's nothing too drastic yet. It's just kind of balancing itself back to where it's supposed to be. But a lot of people are looking at the interest rates now and being like, oh man, right? They missed the low interest rate boat, but there's, but yeah, nothing really on the seller side when I'm talking to, so most of the clients that I have, we're not really talking about any listings that they might have. I know a friend of mine, she just had to do a reduction on hers. Like she was doing, I think she had to drop it like 50. I can't even remember what she had to drop it by, but there was no activity on it, nothing. And so then it started to get a little bit of activity, but then she's like, no, we got to drop this, or it's going to be sitting here forever, right? So we got to drop it. And they did a pretty substantial drop on it, and now it's starting to get interest, right? So
it's tough. I think it's tough. Everybody's kind of finding it a little bit hard. Going from, you have a listing, it sells, bully offer, and you get paid 30 days later. This is a really tough adjustment, and it's more tough for those that have only been in the market or have only been licensed since 2020 or less, because you don't know any market. Yeah. We do. I mean, as seasoned realtor, I look forward to having a listing. Don't get me wrong, we're always very, but we could never count on when that listing would sell. We could never count on if we would get the money that we invested in the listing ever back, because listings did expire, right? It happens. Yeah. So, it's adjusting credit. That's why you got to build up the buyer base and Agent Locator. Right now, you got to have lots of buyers.
Yeah, I think the other tell all of the shift is happening is the amount of open houses that are all of a sudden happening. Like this weekend, there is so many individuals that I knew that are like local to where I am that are in real estate or just whatever. And it's just like open house after open house after open house. Like, and they're all like, I'm like, holy smokes. So that is like just to show you, like things are definitely changing right now that, before, it would just sell. You could barely get it on the market. It was already sold. There was one agent, I think he posted a video in like Real Estate Mastermind, and it was like a comical thing where he's like training to do open houses again. So it was like, and he posted, it was quite funny, where he's just like practicing hammering the signs and like opening the door, right?
Do you know, I mean, this goes back to exactly what we were talking about a few minutes ago. Use Agent Locator, use the database that you have to get people in the door to your open houses.
Absolutely.
When I say that we do an open house invitation, we do that to all of our leads, even if they're not in that specific area. I don't listen, how many times, Chris, have you heard me say, I've already bought the lead?
Yeah.
Why am I only going to send, because I've got a listing in this small area of Toronto, am I only going to send it to the leads in that area? No. I'm going to send it to everybody, because you never know who they know, right?
Yeah. Well, exactly.
There's so much more with Agent Locator that you can do when you currently have listings. I think it's phenomenal to take advantage of the fact that you can create your own emails, have them as templates, and then all it is you just pull it, you change it, and you do a mass email to everybody. I mean, what a better way for Agent Locator leads to see you as a working, busy realtor. If they're not your listings, get permission from another agent and do a new listing alert. Do a sneak peek at something coming up.
Yeah.
Those of us that have fairly bigger real estate businesses, if you were to come to me as a new agent and say, would you mind, Tara, if I sent this new listing alert out to my leads? I would say, go for it. We want to help you. So don't be afraid, if you don't currently have a listing, to ask people in your brokerage and just shoot it out there.
Yeah.
Right? You never know what you can get.
Yeah. Blast it, advertise it, host the open houses for them, right? That's one way. My girlfriend, she's local here, and she's found more traction by listing her properties on Facebook Marketplace and like all the different like the buy and sell groups, things like that. She has gotten more leads for nothing, just a bit of time, posting everything on there than actually running, paying for the ads to go up through her brokerage. So and that's free marketing. She's like, I can't believe how much traction I'm getting off of this, and I didn't even have to pay for it. Yeah. Right. So
but using Agent Locator and using the mass email is, I mean, these people are hearing from you because they're getting listings from you every day. They're already recognizing your name, right? Every day. So when you're using it to send out a new listing alert or an upcoming or open house, I mean, to me, that just all falls into proper progression. Right. So I'm just always say this as I'm training the new ones here. If you are a new realtor, take your social media and make it about real estate. Nobody knows if you currently have people in the car. Nobody knows if you currently have a listing. But if you're always talking about real estate, a not busy realtor can always look busy. Right. And do the same thing with your leads too. If you're in the middle of getting this strip together, start thinking about other things that you can reach out to them about. Nobody, they need to know from us, not from all the other realms out there, what is going on in the market. And our experience that we're dealing with is valuable.
Yeah.
Great information.
Yeah. Have fun with it. Like, you go on to different news sites or whatever, and they'll have like the whatever of the day, and it could be a funny meme, it could be like a funny video or something like that. That's one way that you can engage. This is your Friday funnies, right? And you send out an email, so it has nothing to do with real estate, but some people actually will start looking forward to getting those funny because they want to share it, they want to do whatever it might be, right? So there's different creative ways to engage your audiences. And if you are using social, as much as you're talking about real estate, also express in kind of almost like it's like a vlog, right? It's like a video blog of your day-to-day, whether it's videos or pictures, and expressing who you are, because you're going to attract people that share similar interests. So you naturally have a connection, but they start to also recognize that you're also a real person as well, right? You're like, this is what I do, and like, we're going for hikes today and whatever, and you're like, oh, check out my it's my listing all the way down there, right? You make it fun, and you attract people naturally with similar qualities and interests, and you start kind of keeping that balance as well.
Right. So, we've talked about a lot of things here, and I think there was, and I'm not sure if they're on here today. 2 weeks ago, we had somebody that said they were actually thinking about doing the vlogs and so forth, and putting them into some of the emails and creating that way. And I wish I could remember their name, but I'd love to know if they actually did do it.
Yeah.
Some, and you might know this as well. You do have the ability with Agent Locator to do the bomb as well. And I know there was a time, and I know this was just when our first lockdown was kind of starting, when I was starting to kind of research a little bit more about the connection with bomb, there were a number of realtors that were starting to use that as video vlogs. And I'd love to know what the stats were in the conversion using a video as well as just an email drip campaign. Those are great things, I think, for everybody signing up to kind of have a little bit more info on. And it's not something that I've really done myself.
Yeah, it's just that video introduction, and you can create a generic, right? Some people do it specific to each person. Like, hey, John, thanks for signing up, right? They just do a quick, if you have to do it twice a day because you get 2 leads a day, it's really not taking a whole lot of effort to do that, or time to do it. Right. But some people just do like the generic one. That's just like, I just wanted to thank you, right? So we're not being name specific really at that point, with respect to everything. So there's different ways that you can do it and watching, but I know for some, it really does make a difference, because people actually see you, what you actually look like, and your confidence when you're talking to them in that video, and they're like, oh, this guy seems like or girl seems like she's all right. So it's a little bit
be yourself, be a little bit quirky. I think that we all kind of relate to a softer side, not just so business, so suit and tie type thing.
Just confident and relaxed.
Great. Even in your drip campaign, incorporate that little bit of you, that
personality,
quirkiness, where it's not, you're not going to lose them. The biggest thing with this, when I've done my drip, is I don't have really lengthy subject lines. They're not long drips. And I'm always starting with a thank you so much for continuing to be on the site. And then I just sort of get to the point. And I think that if you're going to go the video route, really do something that's going to now make that person look at you and go, wow, that person is different than all the other stuff that I see. That really can grab, but that also keeps. Right. And that's
just being yourself. You want to be yourself. Like, we don't want to be the other person, because naturally, if you're always pretending to be someone else, you're never natural in what you can never be yourself. Like, I hate not ever being able to be myself. Right. So when it's almost like you pick your friend group based on who you can actually be yourself around, and who you have to pretend to be somebody that that they're looking for. And it's just like, you never go around those people. Right. So it's the same idea. It's just be yourself and be confident. Like, you guys all understand real estate. You know how to talk to people. Pretend you're calling your friends or emailing your friends, and it's just a little bit more relaxed. It's still professional, right? And you're going to find greater, instead of it just being so, black and white, dry material. Make it quirky, make it fun, make them want to read it every time you send something.
Yeah. And I said this before, if you want to send me a couple of versions that you've come up with, I'm open to just, hey, Tara was on your live coaching. What do you think of this? I would love to be able to look it over. If you have self-doubt, which by the way, you shouldn't have self-doubt, because I think that when you really dig deep, you know exactly how to do these emails. But if you want me to look them over, and then maybe I'll make some suggestions. Why don't you try this? Or maybe can we word it this way? And then boom, you've got one done.
Yeah.
Right. So I'd really love for anybody coming away from these to at least go, you know what, I'm going to create 2 emails. And now we've got part of a drip. You know, sometimes sometimes in all honesty, Crystal, I'll think of something 2 weeks later and I'll come up with something in my head and I'll make notes. And now all of a sudden I've got another email. And then I go back to my original drip and I'll be like, okay, do I add it or do I replace with it? Right? So I'm constantly working that agent locator pillar of my business, and that's all part of it. So whatever you think might sound good, make notes. And then, you know, maybe with those notes, we can come up with a few different emails that you guys can put together.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Because we all have things we know we want to say. It's just a matter of doing it, right? And saying it, however you say it, whether it's, you know, through an email, through a text, or talking to them on the phone.
Yeah. So, you know, again, let's go back also to the calling. We've talked about this every time. When do you call? When don't you? We're kind of headed to the last 10 minutes before we're going to do a collective for the draw. If anybody is having success in calling, let us know through the chat. 2 weeks ago, when we talked about response time, a number of people were saying, okay, Tara, but what do I do about the calling? And I had said, listen, guys, keep trying and tell me, are you having success calling on day 1? Are you having success waiting? Or are you not having success at all? Because together, then that now is going to be part of your drip campaign that we're trying to build together. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Any success that you're having, throw it in the chat section, because that also lets all of us know, okay, maybe then part of our drip will be a phone call on day 10. I'm just throwing that out there. So, you know, don't be afraid to let us know, because I love creating everybody's little bits and pieces. And then you've got a drip right before you and you haven't even realized it. Right?
Yep. That is very true. And one thing that you guys can all do, and even we can recollect or post it in the agent locator clients, is send out a mass email to your leads about the current market and just ask, you know, is there any questions about the market that I can answer for you right now? There's a lot of uncertainty out there, a lot of questions flying around. You know, is there any questions that you're sitting on that I can maybe answer for you? And just see what the response rate is, right? You're not trying to pursue them. You're just offering a hand and your knowledge so that they have a better understanding of what's actually happening. And now you've built a communication pathway with them.
I love that. You know, I'm going to throw this back to a team leader that I've been coaching. And this is what he does. He's a big believer in calls, even though he is using the drip. This is exactly what he says when he calls. He introduces himself. He said, Tara, I always thank them for coming on my site. And then I say this, do you have any questions for me? And I said to him, and what do they say? And he goes, they always have something they want to ask. Right? So if you're going to make the call, this is what I always say, let the lead direct the call. We're not there to ask survey questions. We're there just to say, and I love that line, do you have any questions for me? And guess what? He says, I always have. They always have something. And he actually, along with the drip, gets people in the car a little quicker. So I think that's a phenomenal question, along with exactly what you were saying. Do you recommend any websites for real estate resources? All right, listen.
What type of resources?
Yeah, I'm big on the Google updates. So you know how when you're on your phone, Google kind of knows, well, everybody follows you, right?
Yeah.
So what I started doing quite a few years ago on my phone was I would Google search recent real estate articles in the Toronto Star, Globe and Mail, or I would also say in the GTA. And then I would start seeing different articles come up, and then I would click on them and read them. And if I felt that they were recent enough within the last week or two, I would then share them to my social media. Now that I've done those Google searches, when I go on the Google update on my phone, it now comes with live live articles because it knows what I want. So now I don't have to go to websites because they actually come to me through that Google update section on my phone.
Mm-hmm. Resources. So Raman, I'll share his thing. You can share with him about the Craig Proctor coaching. Yeah. Everything. But yeah, just information to, you know, and it's really not, you're just offering something to somebody without expecting anything in return. And that's where you start to ultimately build the trust and the confidence within your database. Yeah. And if we're always constantly trying to sell them something, like every time, you know, we all have, maybe we all do, maybe we don't. We all have that one person that sells something, and every time you meet them, they're like, hey, you know, they're always trying to sell, whether it's a house, a car, whatever it might be. It gets it gets exhausting after a while, right? So it's you know, it's nice to be able to offer someone something with no strings attached, right? It's just, I'm here to help.
Yep.
I understand you're probably not moving right now, and that's okay. But any questions, I don't want you sitting here with them going unanswered.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing. And I think when you sign off as seasoned realtors, you know, years and years and years ago, they used to always say, never leave an appointment, never leave an email or a phone call without a call to action. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that type of thing, feel free to call me if you have any questions. The one thing that is extreme, that's just Tara, I've always done it, is I always sign off with either I'm always available to help or I'm always happy to help. Mm-hmm. So they know that I'm here, and I usually always sign off as well. Feel free to text or call me if that's easier anytime. I'm always available to help. So as you start creating your drip campaign, think about just that last line where you're non-threatening, you're not sounding hungry, like I need you to call me right now, but you're certainly leaving them off very gently, knowing that you're there.
Yes.
Right. And that's why if you want to send me your stuff, I'd love to look it over and just sort of give you my 2 cents worth. I know you can get my email from Agent Locator, no problem. But yeah, so how do you want to do the straw, girl?
I don't know. I'm just trying to grab everyone's names in here. So we can do the wheel thing again. I can pull up the wheel of, you know, what was that called? Wheel something, wheel of names.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And it remembered everyone. So I'm going to, what we'll do is I'll put it, because the list keeps changing. So I'm it's funny in here. Some people come, some people leave.
Okay, so we've got Derek here. I'll let you work with that. So sure. Let me just, before I go to Derek, what we'll do is we'll do a draw. I've got five tickets to give away free, as I told you all what this was about. But if anybody else is, you know, feel free to reach out to me. That's all I'm going to say. Feel free to reach out to me after the draw. Okay. Derek, how do you manage client expectations? One buyer client I'm working with constantly says she's just looking, wants to wait a year, but then calls me out of the blue on a Friday night at 10 o'clock. God, this job. Says she needs to get into a showing the next morning. It's frustrating and she won't sign a BRA. That's a tough one, Derek. Man, I feel for you, and we've all had this happen. I'm a firm believer in knowing tire kickers, sensing them, and not wasting too much time. I'm also a firm believer in sometimes people can be quicker to buy if they're currently always in your car looking. If somebody's going to reach out to you on a Friday night, the one thing that I wish I had have done way earlier in my career is set a little bit of better boundaries. You're always going to hear me say we're realtors, we work 7 days a week. That is part of our job. We have to be available. But, you know, Friday night at 10 o'clock, one way that I now have learned to set my boundaries is I don't reply back. I pretend like I haven't seen it, and I'll deal with it in the morning. I think if you're wanting to get a BRA signed because you have that gut feeling that she might not be serious, what we did with one of our leads who I felt was taking advantage of Nick, and Nick felt that too, didn't you, Nick? The experience was a bit odd. And I kind of just sort of waited a couple of weeks. And then basically I just said to the lead this, as you know, we take our job very, very seriously. We are booked with clients all the time. And, you know, we have gone out and we have shown you here. Going forward, if you want to see more properties with us, you need to get buyer representation agreement signed. Let us know and we will send it to you. And that's how I handled it on behalf of Nick that day, because it was a very frustrating experience. So what I can tell you in this business is this: go with your gut. If you feel they're wasting your time, then start creating those boundaries and see how that makes out. See, that's tough. You know, why do people text at 10 o'clock at night or at dinner time, or like, you know what I mean? Remember, when I started real estate, we had pagers.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, our pager would go off because, you know, they would call, nobody had each other's cell phones.
Yeah.
They would call the number, you know, the office number, and then the answering service would page you. And listen, I can tell you something. If an agent didn't want to call back, they waited till the morning.
Yeah.
They didn't drop everything and call.
Yeah.
So these smartphones have made us too accessible for sure.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Thank you, love it. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Yeah, they suck the life out of you. Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. So my right. Positive. We have a tough job for sure. Yeah.
All right. So I have
now, Crystal. I don't have a pen on me. Are you right?
No.
Like, you able to write down?
So sorry. You need to see my screen right now?
Nick, can you bring a pen in? Please. Okay.
All right. And you can see the wheel of names right now, everyone? Can everyone see it? Yeah.
I have no idea, because now it's a different screen and I'm freaking out. Okay.
All right. So it's on here. I tested it. It doesn't hit the same person over and over again, just in case. So I just went through the list of everyone that was still in attendance on here, put it all, made sure cross-reference. Now we're going to hit, so we're doing 5, correct? 5 today?
5 boat cruise from the Toronto Harbor, July 27th. It's our brokerage's 5th anniversary. So we've got a lot of people coming from a lot of different places. I'm so excited to meet you guys.
All right. We got Danielle Hukamp.
Congratulations. Yay. And then, okay, so Danielle, Crystal will give me your info and then I will contact you to get you registered. Yay. Oh, so excited.
I'm just going to move this over here.
Crystal, honestly, I should be.
Pardon?
I'm like a kid. I should be.
I love winning prizes. Come on now. Like, doesn't matter what it is. Right? Like, I want it. I want it.
You guys just see lead Tara, but it's time you see fun Tara. I don't see my name there. Umer.
All right, we got Francois.
Okay, just wait till okay, can you add another name there? Umer said he didn't see his name.
He doesn't see his name? Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's just see here. Where's the chat? Umar Farouk. That's because Umar Farouk, I imagine you just hopped in. That's probably why.
Umar.
We'll put you in. Umar Farouk.
Yay, Francois. Yay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go.
You wear many hats, Crystal.
I know. All right, so we've got Sahel. Sahel after.
Yes, okay.
And I'm
Now you guys
highlighting, I'm keeping track on my end.
Okay.
So 2 more now, so 2 more.
Yeah. Now let me just say this. You have to be able to attend if we're giving you these tickets, okay, guys?
Yeah, so just if you can't go, just make sure you let Tara know
Yeah,
ASAP.
if you're a no-show, you're going to get charged for the tickets. So please let us know ahead of time if that day is not going to work for you, okay?
We got Della. Here we go. And then we got one more. Alrighty, and we got one more here.
Wow, that is one slow wheel, isn't it?
And Nick Thompson.
Oh, okay. You got to do it again because Nick's already going.
Okay, so we'll take Nick off. Sorry, Nick, you don't get 2 tickets.
Sorry, Robin. Well, we can do another spin. You never know, right?
You never know. And Greg Brown.
Oh, you called it Greg Brown. All right. So I will get your info from Crystal, and then I'm going to throw this out there. If anybody wants to contact me within the next hour, please do so. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm just going to put in here for everyone, please email Crystal, just in case the email I have on file for you isn't the same, or your sub user, whatever it is. I don't want you not, getting your prize. So just email me. So it's just crystal@agentlocator.ca. Just say I want a prize. I've already highlighted in here everyone that's won on my other screen. So Sarah's going to take good care of you.
Maybe. I'm going to type in my cell number here. I need people to text me if they want. That's all I'm going to say. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. So yeah, just even if you guys send me your email and your cell phone number so that Tara can get a hold of you and coordinate.
Yeah. Right. So what we'll do is you'll be registered to through Eventbrite for the tickets. I'll register you as a free ticket. I'll use your email, or I'll probably use my email, and then I'll forward you your tickets. If you're a no-show, it's $150 charge. Okay, so we need you guys, whoever won, we need you to come.
You need to make sure you let us know.
Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Congratulations. It's so nice.
It is.
Nice. Well, hopefully everybody learned or got some tips today. It was so nice. It was so nice. It's awesome doing this.
It was good. And again, every other Tuesday you're here, same time, same place.
You know where to find us. We'll be here.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day and week, and we'll see you next time. Bye, Tara. Have fun on your boat. Have fun on your boat.
Girl, I'm so excited. Bye, guys. You're awesome. We'll say bye.
Bye.